Since the James Webb Space Telescope sent off, researchers have been running wild attempting to capture pictures of all that they can inside the universe. From the web-breaking picture of the Hubble Deep Field to the practically alarming image of the Pillars of Creation, it has outperformed our assumptions in every sense of the word. So it just seems okay that they're searching for more. In fact, they're hoping to photograph exoplanets to get more familiar with what they are and whether life might exist on them. Join us as we more deeply study, achieving a clear picture of one such Earth-like planet, Proxima B. So let's get right to it. Have you ever contemplated whether there's life beyond our nearby planet group? Well, scientists have recently discovered a planet that could possibly support life, and it's nearer than you could naturally suspect. Proxima B is a planet circling a star called Proxima Centauri, which is the closest star to our Sun. This planet is similar in size to Earth and orbits within what is known as the habitable zone, where conditions could be perfect to support liquid water and maybe life as we know it. What makes Proxima B so exciting is its proximity to our planet. It's just 4 light-years away. That might seem like a lot, but in space terms, it's like having your next-door neighbor have a party and invite you over. We're practically neighbors. The star that Proxima B circles, Proxima Centauri, is a red dwarf that is smaller and cooler than our Sun. And while Proxima B is closer to its star than Mercury is to the Sun, its host star's cooler temperature means that it still falls within the habitable zone. Scientists believe that only one side of Proxima B faces its star, much like only one side of our moon faces Earth. However, that doesn't mean the opposite side is completely dreadful. Who knows what could be hiding on the dark side of this mysterious exoplanet? Overall, Proxima B is a fantastic discovery that brings us one step closer to unraveling the mysteries of the universe. The fact that it's so close to us makes it even more intriguing. Who knows what else is waiting to be discovered? When it comes to finding planets with the potential for life, scientists need to consider a whole bunch of factors. Remember, just because a planet is in a star's habitable zone doesn't necessarily mean it can actually support life. It simply means the planet has temperatures that could support liquid water, a key element for life as we know it. But for a planet to be considered truly habitable, its host star needs to burn for enough time to allow life to evolve, and it must generate appropriate amounts of ultraviolet radiation. That's where Proxima B comes in. Not only is it the closest of the 44 potential habitable exoplanets we've found so far, but it also has the highest Earth Similarity Index, ESI. ESI is basically a way of measuring how similar a planet is to our home. The closer the ESI is to 1.0, the more similar the planet is to Earth in terms of its size, density, and surface temperature. And now, thanks to the James Webb Telescope, we may be close to finally achieving the clearest picture of Proxima B ever. It's quite challenging at present to see much detail because the planet is very close to its star and largely hidden from view. But who knows what we might see in the future? For now, let's just remain in awe of this fascinating exoplanet and all that it represents. Now, we've never actually seen Proxima B up close because it's around 4.2 light-years away from us. But scientists have been able to observe changes in Proxima Centauri's color, which has led them to believe that Proxima B is indeed there, right where it should be. Proxima B is a truly interesting planet because it's tidally locked to its star. That means one side of the planet always faces the star, and the other side is always in darkness. Although it's very close to its star, it's not as hot as you might expect because Proxima Centauri is a red dwarf star, which is cooler than our Sun. Did you know that how land is distributed on an exoplanet could greatly affect its atmosphere and potential habitability? That's what a team led by climate scientist Dorian Heaven MacDonald has discovered. See, when a planet is tidally locked to its star, one side is constantly facing the star and experiencing intense heat, while the other side is perpetually in darkness and freezing cold. Not exactly the most hospitable conditions for life as we know it. But there's hope. MacDonald's team wanted to see if the amount and distribution of land on the day side of a planet could make it more habitable. They ran simulations comparing a planet with a circular continent in a liquid ocean to one with a strip of land surrounded by ice. And what did they find? Well, more land on the day side meant less rain, higher temperatures, and a greater difference in temperature between the day side and night side. Even if the total amount of land remained the same, The way it was distributed could cause the average surface temperature of the planet to vary by as much as 20 degrees. That's a pretty significant difference. What does this all mean? Let me break it down for you. The discovery of each exoplanet has taught us that these celestial bodies are much more diverse than we previously thought. And thanks to this realization, we also have some insight into how scientists can improve our search for other habitable planets outside our solar system. But back to Proxima B. There's a good enough chance that it could support life, mostly because scientists believe it may have water and an atmosphere to protect it from extreme radiation. But we can't be sure yet, not unless we get some concrete evidence. And that's where NASA's James Webb Space Telescope comes into play. This telescope specializes in observing infrared light, which is crucial when studying planets like Proxima B. How does this work, you ask? Well, if Proxima B has an atmosphere, it would absorb light from its star and release it as infrared light instead. And the JWST is just what we need to detect it. By taking images of infrared light on Proxima B, scientists can search for patterns that would indicate whether or not the planet has water or is covered by an atmosphere. So, even though we don't have concrete evidence that Proxima B is an Earth twin, we're getting closer to finding out thanks to some incredible technology. As is often the case with space exploration, things aren't necessarily straightforward. The proposed method may be the best option out there, but there are other factors that need to be considered. For instance, even the presence of an atmosphere isn't enough to guarantee that life could exist, says astrophysicist Ed Turner of Princeton University. It's also possible that Proxima B could resemble Venus, with an atmosphere that's 90 times thicker than Earth's and extreme radiation. Still, hope remains that Proxima B could be a potential candidate to help us learn more about Earth and its neighboring planets. The reason we're so hopeful is that the JWST has managed to photograph another exoplanet, HIP 65426b. But the James Webb Space Telescope, also known as the JWST, has just captured its most iconic images of a planet orbiting a distant star. The planet, HIP 65426b, might not sound like a big deal, but it's actually a gas giant that's several times more massive than Jupiter and only 15 million years old. That's like a baby in cosmic terms. But wait, it gets better. The planet is about 350 light-years from Earth. Talk about long-distance relationships. Now, I know you might not be too interested in how detailed these new planetary images are, but the researchers who were able to take the images certainly were. When the results came back, Sasha Hinley, an astronomy professor at the University of Exeter in England who helped lead the study, said, "I had to make sure that I wasn't looking at a simulated image. It looked like the model images from when we wrote our proposal years ago. But let me tell you, the JWST images of HIP 65426b revealed that it is exceeding expectations for its exoplanet studies. This is good news because it also means that JWST's planned efforts to observe other exoplanets will likely be even more successful than researchers had hoped. And that's great news because astronomers can now be even more aggressive when submitting proposals to JWST's steering committee in the upcoming research cycles. The possibilities are endless. So let's give a round of applause to the amazing team behind JWST, who have managed to achieve the seemingly impossible feat of capturing direct images of exoplanets. As Sasha Hinkley puts it, "Yeah, I was really intrigued by the technical challenges of this study, of blocking out these bright host stars, which are 10,000 or more times brighter than the faint planets orbiting them. It almost sounds impossible, like trying to spot a tiny glowing firefly flickering under a bright stadium light from your seat across the field. But with the right technique, exoplanets can be revealed, and we're only just scratching the surface. Exciting times lie ahead in the field of exoplanet research. The James Webb Space Telescope, JWST, has just taken several direct images of a giant gas planet called HIP 65426b. It's a real youngster, only 15 million years old, and it's hanging out about 350 light-years from Earth. Now, you might think bigger fish to fry. We've seen plenty of images of planets before, but hang on. This is different. The researchers are actually excited about these images because they show that JWST is much better at studying exoplanets than they originally thought. Sasha Hinkley, an astronomy professor at the University of Exeter in Britain who led the study, said that when the results came back, they looked like something out of a scientific fantasy. It was so amazing they almost seemed simulated. I had to check twice to make sure they were real.